Hello, everybody. Welcome to a wonderful Wednesday. Hopefully, you are having a wonderful Wednesday. And this is the Wonderful Wednesday broadcast of Miss Hope's Reading Hour. So glad to be here with you on this wonderful Wednesday. Now, I know you are probably wondering, where is Miss Hope right now? That's not the background that I see all the time. That's not even the outside background I see all the time. Well, I am coming to you from a very special place today. It is actually the school that I work in. I would like to tell you the name of the school. I don't think that would be a very good thing to do because I didn't get it cleared with the principal to be able to say that. So I am coming to you from the school that I work in. This is a classroom that I'm in. Unfortunately, it's not being used right now, but it is a perfect place for me to be able to do Miss Hope's Reading Hour today. So I'm saying hello to everyone. So when you see this on Wednesday, more likely than not, it won't be live, okay? It's live for you, but I'm actually doing this on a Tuesday to make absolutely sure that I am able to read with you all and you can read with me, okay? So whoever is on, hello, hi, I'm so glad that you are here on Wednesday, okay? I will be checking in to the broadcast to see who's there. I'll be able to type in to say hi to you and everything. So I look forward to still seeing you. I will still see you, okay? So let's get into the books. Hopefully, before then, hopefully you are all having a great, wonderful Wednesday. That all of my young ones and older young ones and teacher friends and parent-teacher friends and parent friends and all friends of Miss Hope's Reading Hour, hopefully you are having an awesome, wonderful Wednesday right at this moment, okay? So I look forward to reading to you today because I have two books, and of course, we are going to get back into that already wild sounding chapter book that we are reading. So I would like to say thank you to Miss Stoltzfus at my school because she let me use two of her books that I have never seen before, even though we've read a lot of books together, whole lot of books. But these two books, I never saw these books before. So I was like, let's read these two books. Okay, so let's get to the book, shall we? Our first book, in honor of Hispanic American Heritage Month. Yes, it is still a Hispanic American Heritage Month until Friday. So maybe on Friday I will read another book in honor of this month, okay? So our first book is called Abuela's Weave. Abuela's Weave. This book is by Omar S. Castaneda, illustrated by Enrique O. Sanchez. And we will see who the publisher of this book is once we get into it. Now, I saw this book in her room, and I thought, this is an interesting book. I would like to read it today. This book is called The Dragons Are Singing Tonight. This book, it's poems by Jack Prelutsky, pictures by Peter Sis. I was like, this is interesting. It's a bunch of poems about dragons. All right, and of course, the book we started on Marvelous Monday, Tommy Storm and the Galactic Knights by A.J. Healey. This is going to prove to be one heck of a book. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of very interesting things that happen in this book. Okay? Now, let's get to our first book, shall we? Abuela's Weave by Omar S. Castaneda. And this is a Lee and Low Books Incorporated book. Pull back hard, old Abuela said. Make it jolt so the threads stay close like family. Yes, Abuela. Esperanza thrust the bolt through the opened weave and pulled the bar down with all her might. Fun fact, Esperanza is hope in Spanish. Next to her, Esperanza's grandmother, her abuela, also kneeled in front of a backstrap loom. Both looms were tied to the same tree in the middle of the family compound. Esperanza's mother fed the chickens and pigs behind the main thatch hut, while her father was off with her brothers in the field of corn, beans, and coffee. Whatever they're weaving, it's probably going to be beautiful. See all those colors? You're learning, Abuela said. Esperanza looked at her grandmother out of the corner of her eye. She knew that Abuela was nervous about the market. Her mother said that the huipiles and tapestries Abuela made could pull the wonder right out of people. But these days, more and more goods were made by machines. Esperanza worried that people would tease Abuela about her birthmark, as some kids had once done. They had started a rumor that she was a witch, and now many people were frightened to buy things from her. Oh man, that's a shame. It's just a birthmark. Daydreaming again? Abuela asked. Yes, Abuela. Well, the old woman said gruffly, get busy, because there are too few days left. You still have a lot of work to do, and there will be many other people selling the same things you have. Don't worry, Abuela. I'll be busy until we leave. Oh, so she's learning how to use the loom to make beautiful tapestries. And she was. Esperanza and her grandmother worked from early morning, even before the sun rose, till well past sunset, when the moon rose and the compound fire gave everything the rich smell of pine. They showed no one their work, not even Esperanza's mother, because it was a special thing that they wove. They wanted to wait for the Fiesta de Pueblos in Guate to reveal it. Oh, I can't wait to see what it is. I can't wait either. Soon the day arrived, bright with sun, the leaves glistening from the previous night's rain. It seemed like a good omen for Esperanza and her grandmother. Abuela appeared disguised as a woman in mourning, dressed in black. She wrapped a long black shawl around her shoulders and across her face, so that only her eyes appeared to the world. Esperanza, however, wore her favorite huipil. It was a white blouse with red, blue, and green threads in the rectangular collar. Under that, the colors bled into silver and blue, and hidden within the intricate designs of the blouse were tiny quetzals flying freely in the threads, the way they once flew in the great forests of Guatemala. Wow, that's pretty impressive, to weave birds into the threads. She carried on her head a large straw basket full of her huipiles, tablecloths, skirts, and the special tapestry. Esperanza walked steadily down the dirt avenue to Santa Cruz to get to the highway where the Huate bus would pick them up. Abuela walked several paces behind. She insisted they pretend they did not know each other. This way, if my birthmark frightens customers, they will still buy from you, Abuela explained. When the bus came, Abuela did not even help lift the heavy basket to the boys who strapped the bags onto the roof of the bus. Inside, they sat 3 seats apart, as if they were strangers, people living in different villages, people with no ancestors in common. That's a shame. They should have been able to sit together. When they arrived, the noise in the city was deafening. Large buses roared down the narrow streets, emitting clouds of black smoke. Horns blasted and people hurried roughly down the sidewalks. Esperanza wanted more than anything to get off the Sexta Avenida, where people jammed the walkways and hawkers yelled from their shops, or from the hundreds of carts blocking the sidewalks and streets. She felt trapped. Her lungs ached from the automobile and bus fumes, and her ears rang with the sounds of screeching brakes, horns, shouting, and the whistles of policemen. Esperanza walked quickly, the basket steady upon her head, her mind trying to focus away from the commotion and onto the stalls set up for the fiesta in the Parque Central. Wow, it looks like a super busy city. That's how it can be sometimes here in Philadelphia. She walked furiously, zigzagging to get down to Avenida Ocho or the Septima Avenida, where the noise was less, when she suddenly stopped to see if Abuela was still following behind her. She looked for a familiar face among the bobbing heads, the baskets, the helmets, and the hats. She wanted to catch a sight of her grandmother's shawl, like a blackbird hopping from branch to branch in a forest of people, but she could not find her. Esperanza continued to the market, hoping Abuela would eventually find her there among the other merchants. Oh, look at her face. That had to be pretty scary with all those people there. She lives in a small town. The stalls were already filled when Esperanza arrived. Old men and women nearby shooed her away or ignored her when she asked for help. Oh, man. At last, all she could do was set her basket between the narrow slats of 2 stalls. On one side, a family from Antigua sold pottery, reproductions of Mayan crafts, and clothing loomed in one of the many factories. The woman on the other side sold long bolts of cloth, musical instruments, and decorative bags. The bags all had zippers machined in the capital and long handles of colorful plastic. Everything was beautiful, Esperanza thought. She thought that no one would buy anything from her. She and her grandmother would return to Santa Cruz with no money, the long hours wasted, and the family disappointed. Esperanza sadly took out her wares to hang them one by one on long splinters in the slat wood on either side. She felt terribly alone. Even her poor Abuelita was nowhere to be seen. The people slowly noticed. They pointed at the elaborate weaving. Tourists and Guatemalans alike drew closer to her tiny place and looked up with wonder at the beautiful work in front of them. The large tapestry blossomed with images of Guatemala. Esperanza and Abuela had worked in intricate symbols of the country's history. There were heroines and heroes inspired by the glorious Popol Vuh, the sacred book of the Maya. And in one corner, a beautiful quetzal seemed to watch over it all from within a white cage. In Esperanza's hands, the tapestry's colors shone as brightly as the sun over Guatemala's Lake Atitlan. Don't want to mess that up. Look at that. Isn't it beautiful? That looks like it took a lot of work. People turned from the commercial stalls to stand before Esperanza's complex weaving. When she looked up, Esperanza saw Abuela with a smile across her birthmarked face. It didn't take long for all of their work to be sold that day. The people were disappointed when all was gone, but Esperanza promised to return with new things the following month. On the way back to Santa Cruz, grandmother and granddaughter sat side by side. Esperanza's smooth and nimble fingers held tightly in her abuela's wrinkled old hands. The end. What a beautiful story. I'm so glad I got to pick this one. It's a shame that just because her abuela had a birthmark, that people treated her so mean. But Abuela was smart. She knew if Esperanza was the one who sold the weaving, that people wouldn't have a problem buying from her. And it was such a shame that people were not willing to help her. I'm sorry, stalled a little bit, but Esperanza was brave and smart too. She figured, well, if they won't help me, then I know what I'll do. I'll just hang my weaving on the splinters in between the stalls. And she knew they were beautiful. Her abuela knew they were beautiful. Then when she hung them up, everyone saw how beautiful that they were. And they snapped everything up. And they went home with the money they needed and being able to sit next to each other on the bus ride home. So glad I got to read Abuela's Weave with all of you. Now, to our next book. And I'm interested in seeing these poems in here. The Dragons Are Singing Tonight. Poems by Jack Prelutsky. And it says something interesting on the back of the book. If you don't believe in dragons, it is curiously true that the dragons you disparage choose not to believe in you. So, this is a scholastic book. See it right there on the edge. Let's see about these dragons. We may not get to read all of these poems, but we'll read some of them and get to see the awesome picture. I am an amiable dragon. I am an amiable dragon, and and I have no wish to scare. Do not tremble at my presence. Do not ignore my lethal stare. Do not fret about the fire I unleash into the air. You are free to pass unchallenged, but only if you dare. Hoo hoo hoo, look at that big dragon. Would you be scared? It says it's amiable, it's nice. I don't know. It's a pretty big dragon. I am waiting. I am waiting for my dragon egg to hatch. I've been waiting for a year. Ever since I found it hidden in my mother's garden patch. Now I think my baby dragon's almost near. I have never had a dragon of my very own before, and I wonder, will my dragon breathe a flame? Will it greet me every morning with a friendly little roar? Will it answer when I summon it by name? I am counting off the seconds till my dragon first appears, poking through the shell to freedom with a horn. I can't wait to see its winglets, tiny muzzle, tail, and ears, when my brand new baby dragon's finally born. Wow. That looks like a pretty tiny egg to me to be a big old dragon. Imagine seeing a chicken egg and taking care of it, and then finding out that it's a dragon. Okay, let's see. I wish I had a dragon. I wish I had a dragon with diamond-studded scales, with claws like silver sabers, and fangs like silver nails. A dragon fierce and faithful, always ready by my side. A dragon to defend me or to take me for a ride. I wish I had a dragon with eyes of shining gold, who breathed a plume of fire whenever it was cold. A dragon so ferocious, it might frighten Frankenstein, but not a lazy dragon who sleeps all day like mine. Oh, so you already have a dragon, but your dragon is lazy. It's like, wait a minute, I need a dragon that's not lazy. I made a mechanical dragon. Of bottle tops, hinges, and strings, of thrown away clocks and unmendable socks, of hangers and worn inner springs. I built it of cardboard and plastic, of doorknobs and cables and corks, of spools and balloons, and unused spoons and rusty old shovels and forks. It's quite an unusual dragon. It rolls on irregular wheels. It clatters and creaks, and it rattles and squeaks, and when it tips over, it squeals. I've tried to control its maneuvers. It fails to obey my commands. It bumps into walls till it totters and falls. I made it myself with my hands. That is a pretty unusual looking dragon. But hey, I made it myself. I'm proud of it. Nasty little dragon song. What? I'm a nasty, nasty dragon. I've been nasty since my birth. When it comes to nasty dragons, I'm the nastiest on earth. I've a nasty, nasty temper, and my breath is nasty too. I was nasty to my parents, I'll be nastier to you. It's my nature to be nasty, nasty, nasty night and day. I will act completely nasty if you're in my nasty way. Yet I largely pass unnoticed as I nastily go by. I'm a nasty, nasty dragon, just a nasty half-inch pie. Well, are you nasty because you're so tiny? Is that what it is? Don't be nasty. Somebody might step on you. Anywho, my dragon wasn't feeling good. My dragon wasn't feeling good. He had a nasty chill and couldn't keep from shivering. I saw that he was ill. His eyes were red and watery. His nose was running too. His flame was but a fizzle, and his cheeks were pallid blue. I took him to a doctor just as quickly as I could, a specialist in dragons, and she's in the neighborhood. She took his pulse and temperature. She fed him turpentine and phosphorus and gasoline. My dragon's doing fine. Oh, all of those things are flammable, by the way. That's good for dragons, not good for you. All right, I think I'll read one more. I am my master's dragon. I am my master's dragon, and my master treats me well. He calls me when he wants me, and I answer to his bell. He feeds me puffs of pastry to reward me for my deeds. And according to my master, I have all a dragon needs. My master fails to notice, though I know that he is smart, the incalculable sadness deep within my dragon heart. I am not complaining. I've no sorry tale to tell. I am my master's dragon, and my master treats me well. Now, if you notice in the background, if you look, you see the other dragon in the moonlight? I think the dragon's sad because he wants a dragon friend. It's great that the master treats him nice, but he's like, I need some dragon friends. So I like this book. I think I'm going to buy this book, okay? My teacher friend let me borrow it, so I'm going to give it back to her when I go back to class. But I think I'm going to buy this book. I like this one. I like the poems. All right, my friends, let's change this ambiance, okay? So let's change it real quick because we are about to get into Tommy Storm and the Galactic Knights by A.J. Healey. Just a second.
15 cents off per gallon. Just use the app to pay for your fuel.
All right. Our epic space music. All right, so last we checked into Tommy Storm and the Galactic Knights. Apparently, him and all of the Galactic Knights have been captured by Shaputska and Mac Jickelson. They want to know why they are where they are. Are they trying to arrest Mac Jickelson and all of his mean people? But apparently there is something called the TFC, the Terrible Future Calamity. And they're trying to figure out, first of all, what it is, and then how to stop it. That's all that Tommy Storm is trying to do with his friends. But Mac Jickelson doesn't think so. So he has them captured and tied up. And he has a lie detector called the POF, the Pants on Fire, that will tell if they are lying about why they're there. So, let's find out what's happening now in the story, okay? We've had a few faults. We've had a few faults with this lie detector, he said. Poff buzzed loudly, much to Nat's fury. Stop wasting my time, he yelled at Rumbles. I'm a very busy man. Again, Poff buzzed, which made Woozy laugh out loud. How dare you laugh at me, cried Nick. I'm an extremely important person, Buzz. Worthy of immense respect, Buzz. Knack plunged the poker into Rumble's midriff, but the bear-like creature was big and the poker had grown cold. Stop, she cried. You're tickling me, stop. Knack flung the poker across the room in exasperation. Then he slammed his head against the tabletop twice. Oh! He screamed, which seemed to exercise his temper. When Rumble stopped laughing and Knack eventually spoke, it was with chilling calmness. Enough. Shaputska, let's kill the lot of them right now. I can lay each one of them out on the table and cut them in two with your tail. There's no need for that, said Rumbles with a giggle. She found it hard not to laugh at serious things so soon after a tickling. What? You think I'm joking? You think I won't have you killed? No, So you think we'll set up some stupid, over-elaborate way to kill you, giving you time to escape? No, of course not, Rumble said. Puff buzzed. Hey, don't mind that machine. You're right, it must be defective. Nat turned to the furry, smiley creature who'd just taken a big bite of a lollipop. Doggle, jump on the table there and show these people we mean business. Doggle climbed onto the table and sprawled across it. Shaputska, meanwhile, climbed up to the rafters and looped a length of tinder wire around it. She grabbed hold of its free end, then waited, chainsaw tail buzzing with anticipation. Nat gave a nod and Shaputska pushed herself off, swinging in an arc toward the furry figure of Doggle, sprawled across the table. Doggle wasn't watching. He was turned toward Nat, whispering, "She's not going to hurt me, right?" We'll just pretend, just to scare the kids, like we agreed. Of course, said Nat. She won't touch you. Poff gave a loud buzz. Doggle heard it, realized his mistake, and in the same instance, knew it was too late. A split second later, he was chopped down the middle from groin to neck. Tommy saw a shard of lollipop nestling in the freshly opened guts. You think I'm serious now? Cried Knack to Rumbles and the other Iggy Knights. Please, cried Rumbles. I told you everything. Yeah, I know, replied Knack. That's why it's time to kill you. He turned to Shaputska, who was clearing Doggle's gooey body parts off the table. Kill them all! Careful to kill one before you cut the next. Then he addressed the Iggy Knights. You'll all be dead in under 5 minutes. No buzz issued from Puff. Chapter 2, Murphy's Law. There's a planet in a remote galaxy of the universe that revolves on its axis every 24 hours and travels around its sun 365 and 1/4 days. This planet has a single moon and harbors supposedly intelligent life. Down on this planet, in the year 2009, a great meeting was coming to a close, watched on TV by almost all the planet's 6 billion inhabitants. The only ones who missed it were either in bed, on the loo, the toilet, or had failed to pay their TV license. A self-important man named Chancellor Rommel stood up before the assembly and everyone hushed. "We have only 15 minutes left to make our choice," he said. This caused a stir of nervous comments from the crowd. Why didn't we start thinking of this sooner? Yeah, we had years to come up with an answer. And an argument began raging about who was to blame for the delay. It only subsided when Rommel shouted, 11 minutes to make our choice. And he indicated to a large screen behind him. This projection will remind you of the damage we received 10 years ago. The projection looked like this. Request for help. It is vital that we come up with the wisdom of life, death, and the universe in under 25 words. We would be grateful if your planet would help us by making a suggestion in precisely 10 years and 10 hours from the time of this message. Note, if you come up with a good answer, we'll shower you with riches. Please put your wisdom into the sock provided. Rommel waved his arm. The projection disappeared. Then, some weeks later, we received the following message. A new projection appeared. Correction to the previous message. When we said 10 years and 10 hours, we meant 10 years and 9 hours to come up with the wisdom in under 25 words. Note, if you make no response, or if your answer is not good enough, then your planet and solar system will be crushed by the hand. By the hand. Who knows what the hand is? Please write your answer on to a postcard and put it in the toaster attached to this note. Not in the sock. I told you guys this was going to be crazy. I told you. Okay. Why the change in time? Cried a voice from the crowd. We should have another hour to come up with our answer. Who cares about the time? Yelled someone else. First, they were going to give us riches for our answer. Then it's, oh, we're going to crush your planet. It must be a bluff, announced someone else, which resulted in a deluge of voices. Rommel reached under the podium and took out what looked like a 2-slicer toaster. We discussed all this, he said. We agreed to choose an answer and put it in the toaster. If it's a bluff, then we have lost nothing. By the way, 10 minutes to go. Once he had silence, Rommel called on the 6 chosen delegates to approach the platform. The votes have been cast, he said. Each of you has the answer proposed by the 1 billion people on this planet that you represent. One after another, the delegates opened the envelope in their hand and read out the answer written on a piece of paper inside. The answers were, life is silly, then you die, number 1. Number 2, oh, to be rich and famous with 2 big houses, 4 sports cars, and 7 marriages. Number 3, sorry, we don't know. 4, death is not the end, it is the beginning. Fingers crossed. But still, please don't kill us. Number 5, your Aunt Agnes would like you to call her after the assembly. Number 6, life is a mystery. A whodunit we'll never know the answer to. Whoa. Okay, so we will end there, my friends. I told you this book is going to be a doozy. It's going to be a doozy, people. So, where we are now. Unfortunately, Mac Jickelson sliced one of his own people in half. But it's kind of human dog, okay? And apparently, he's going to slice Tommy Storm and all of the Galactic Knights in half as well. Then we go on to chapter 2, where I guess this is the TFC. I'm sorry. What is it called again? The TFC? The Terrible Future Calamity. So I guess if they come up with the answer with the wisdom that the hand is looking for, I guess their planet won't get smashed. Sounds like the planet is Earth, but I'm not sure. So, they have 10 minutes. They had 10 years and they never came up with it. But they have now 10 minutes to come up with this wisdom. Everyone on the planet has to vote so that the hand will not crush the planet and they can possibly have riches and houses and things, okay? But they've got to get that answer into the 2-slice toaster before the 10 minutes is up. You heard the answers. I don't know if any of them are going to work. We will see. We need to find out what happens to Tommy Storm and the Galactic Knights. So, that is where we are. We will get back to it on Fabulous Friday. Thank you so much for being here with me on this wonderful Wednesday. And I look forward to seeing you on Fabulous Friday so we can find out what the heck happens in the next part of this chapter. Okay? So, have a great rest of your wonderful Wednesday. Find something to be thankful for on Thankful Thursday. And I will see you back here on a Fabulous Friday, right here on Miss Hope's Reading Hour. Until then, my friends, I will see you next